Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good week. Today is Thursday, March 9th, 8:30 a.m. And as far as news goes, we'll get right into it. So we have our 8:30 jobless claim, so that should be right now. At 10 a.m., we're gonna have Fed bar speak, and then at 10:30 we have natural gas storage. As far as anything else goes, I'm gonna double check. That's about it. We do have balance sheets at 4:30 p.m., so that is after hours. Other than that, we should be good for today. Let me know if the audio is all good. Um, I do have a new mic set up, so there may be a little bit difference in sound. So if you guys can hear me, let me know. All right, let's get right into it. So perfect. Let's look at ES mini. Let's look at how we did yesterday, especially with the Fed Chairman Powell speaking, and how we look today. So looks like we respected our levels yesterday pretty fairly at around this 3975 and 3983. Looks like before market open, we started seeing some bounces, and then market open we bounced and then went back down, respecting this 3975, which was our goal for bounces yesterday. Looks like it did work out really well. Now let's look at what may occur today. So again, our range so far within last week, we have our 3975 low and then our 4023 high. So I want to see us stay within this range. If we do get lower, then of course we have all these small supports, resistance from previous week, and then of course demand and then key resistance. I'm apart from all these key levels, I believe 367, 3967 is going to be a key one. Uh, and 3975, of course, is the number one. I'm going to be watching for buyers to hold. This is really the goal for today. And then, of course, resistance. We're going to have this 405. If we try to get some calls down here, you can scalp up there. Um, as far as any levels go, any setups, anything to add, we can try and get that 403. Looks to be resistance, but we already have that 405. It should be a given. We're going to mark it down. We're going to make it black. Anything else? I'm gonna leave that there for now. I'm gonna see if this can act as a tough spot for later in the day. Looks like we got some push after jobless claims. We got some uh movement on ES, enough to break out of this. So there is that in there. Um, let's look if we can reject today. This supply should be interesting. We had a break. There should be sellers within this whole spot, as mentioned yesterday, 423 to 4034. That's the same thing I want to watch for today. 4005 is going to be a level of test, so we're going to see if there's going to be sellers at this spot. If we're weak at open, then we should see volume lose momentum there and then sell off. But if we're strong at open, then we should easily push through it and head towards the supply where we should see some rejection. If by some miracle we do have news that pushes us up over 60 to 70 points, then I want to watch this 4060 spot to 4079 for rejects as well. So that's going to be it for me when it comes to this ES setup. I'm gonna go on to SPX and give that a look. All right, ES. I'm gonna mark this 4000 spot on ES. Looks to be a possible spot pre-market. Um, Also we're approaching that with jobless claims. Or actually, that's closed yesterday. Um, let's see if we gap up on this at around above 4000 As far as any specific levels go, we do know that 4017, right, all this, and looks like right here, is a spot where sellers want to see us sell. As far as buyers go, again, this 3974 yesterday acted as a perfect buy spot like we had last week. Um, and of course, there's buying interest down here as well. So as far as key levels go for the day on SPX, I'd like to see us stay below this 4017 and stay above this 3974. And below this above 3962 as well as 3948. We also have a couple resistances above. As you guys can see, we did use it as a reject here, and then we broke up with volume. That tells me that there's strength this break, but us being able to sell that profit off and come back down, it means this run sold their profits. Now we're back down to where we were before. And so what I want to see, since we also had resistance on retesting and try to push higher, we failed that VWAP. If we retest, there's likely a chance that we're going to see a rejection as well. Unless, of course, there is volume. So I will look for shorts up here today. That's going to be the main idea. And then possibly if we gain momentum again, pre-market lows, I do want to see that for some calls. Apart from that, we get any lower, these two levels are going to be key for me, especially the support at 3948. Other than that, that should be it for SPX. I don't see us going higher than 4017. If we do, then we got this 4036 level, 449, 461, 465, 4070, and 48 or 4078. Which 4090, guys, is gap fill, and 4078 is pre-gap entry. So I want to see us reject that first to see if we actually get up there to fill that gap. Um, it is Thursday, so we'll see how the market moves. So we'll move on from here. We're going to go on to individuals. And if there is any stocks you guys want to see me chart, let me know in the chat and I'll get right into it. All right. So we have somebody says Apple. We'll get right into Apple. So on the daily frame, we got Apple. Apple rejected supply on, I believe this is Monday. This supply is a daily supply. As you guys see, we have our rejects here, mainly consolidation, ultimately seeing some big selling candles at that area. Then we got our reject here, where we see a long wick reject at the top, a red candle, body candle reject at the top, or at the bottom of the supply. Then time passes by, we retest. Looks like a possible cup and handle. Overall, no really big fill there, but we have these wicks and as well as body candles stay below the supply, ultimately telling me that sellers are really strong here. So if today we do end up gaining some volume, I want to see if we can grab some shorts up here, only if the momentum is low and we start to see that sellers pick up there as well. There should be a really consolidation up here. If the market is trying to move, Apple will probably consolidate around here. I don't see us going any higher than that. If we do, then we got this 160 resistance. But this is what I will be watching shorts up here. As far as calls go, we're gonna go into the 1 hour. We're gonna look into it a little further. So as far as calls go, we got our yesterday's low. Looks to be at a good level. I like how we got that as a low. This 150.88 support to maybe 151, which is yesterday's low, can be a good spot for buyers intraday. As far as anything else goes, we got possibly some interest down here. Down there, just because we got this bounce here, we also got some rejects there. Overall consolidation, still having some sellers being pulled down, and we see that continually happening. Now, then we broke out, so we know that there's sellers over there for sure, which can reverse, turn into buyers, support, turn resistance, or resistance turn support in this case. And there could be interest down here. Over here, there's likely we will see maybe some buyers, but we can't really get lower than that. And then, of course, rejects up here. So for this Apple position, definitely going to be watching puts up here. scalp it to a reject. We could probably get a 154 to 153 reject, and I'm saying that due to this range here. We got that pre-market high that we can watch for to aim for as a bounce. Um, so if we get up here, we reject. That would be my two price targets. All right. Someone said, and of course, again, if you guys have any requests for charts you want to see me go over, let me know. All right, we got Costco. Costco's still stuck at that retracement. There hasn't really been any movement yesterday. Even for consumer, I'm surprised that we hadn't seen much volume step in. Um, Looks like we're holding it pretty strong so far. One lower low, but it's a wick. Um, we'll see if we can get a lower low again today. If we hold this demand or supply, whatever it is in this case, this zone, we may see a bounce towards these levels as mentioned yesterday, 490, 493, and then of course retracement for the ultimate reject. As far as us going down, we look at this retracement for balance. But Costco is a stock I don't really want to touch today, specifically consumer. So look at this Nvidia. Looks like we're pushing up pretty strongly. I believe they had news, something. Let me see really quick. So the U.S. imposed semiconductor export controls on China. Now key EU nations are set to follow the suit. So there is news behind chip sector as a whole. Um, we're looking at this break of short-term supply for this long-term supply. And this NVIDIA setup is actually really, really clean. And I do want to try and look for some positions for shorts. Looks like this is just a level of reject there. Um, we got a candle there, reject. I like how this spot entirely was a tough break. Looks like we tried bouncing there a couple of times after seeing some breaks. So yeah, maybe we can see that today as a possible sell zone for NVIDIA. Looks like we may have rejected that pre-market twice. So if we can get an open range breakout strategy going there, we may see some returns as far as the call side goes. We still have this um, rising wedge on the daily frame, so we can watch for puts if we break below it. As far as early entries go, of course, this is a possible supply, so I would like to see a break on it for us to go lower. We're looking at, so we are at a higher high. That's there. I'm trying to see if there's any other levels to watch out on this. We're gonna keep this on watch today for sure. I'm gonna look in the other sectors or other stocks in this sector like AMAT and AMD. But yeah, this will be on my list. We're gonna see for calls above open range breakout, pre-market high. If we see momentum loss at open, I'm gonna not take that call. In fact, I'm gonna start looking for shorts, but we have to break pre-market high first. So now let's look at Tesla. Um, wow, what a move! So Tesla, as you guys know, we saw a bounce, 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 break, retest of that support, and then continuation down. We're starting to see that support 182 break. This was a nice spot previous November, so it's interesting to see how it's doing now. We sort of had a triple top in this spot where we see a 1, 2, 3, and then fall. Massive selling there. We hit lower lows. Looks like our next support will probably be at, first off, let's look at pre-market low. I do want to see that. And then we have our, let's look at the past as well. Let's get right here, one support. Let's get another one. I'm gonna mark that right there. One right there. And then that should be enough for now. As far as resistances go, possible rejects. I'll look right there. Um, yeah, that looks perfectly fine. Orb does look good because of this pre-market low. We saw that we have three wicks at that price. So if we can get lower than that, then we can probably place an open range breakout bottom side to that 169 price. Overall, I'd probably have the target a lot tighter, something like that. Um, where that actually looks to be the resistance side. Let's look at the support side. We'll have that as a possible price target. As far as any patterns go or anything else, not much that I see. I'm gonna leave it do its thing, but it does look good for puts. Okay, we got this meta break supply zone reject on this was Monday or Tuesday. Today I want to see us retest, head up towards there. We do look to have strength open. Could be some volume at open. So if we can get some open strength in the morning and touch this supply, I will grab puts up here. I'm gonna set an alert in case we do break that higher high, so that we can grab some puts up there. And then we got some Amazon. Amazon, really nothing interesting going on here. I mean, we're staying above this 93.11 support, so that's good. That's really key. But there's really not much going on. It's just been choppy yesterday. It will probably continue to chop, or if we can get lower, then we'll probably see down to 90 as a possibility. But Amazon doesn't really see interest right now. AMD though, AMD I wasn't able to trade, but it looks like AMD popped up, hit that resistance, sort of rejected. So I want to see if we can touch that resistance again. See how we react in that area. As you guys know, that is on our newsletter, so we are watching for puts at that price. I want to see if we can get some shorts up here. Puts up here, swinging possibility. Uh, if we can get lower next week, that could be a possibility around this high. Um, we'll see, because 86.26 is also a very key spot for me to grab shorts too. So within this range, I'll probably enter some puts today or tomorrow. So AMD, yes, is a stock I'm gonna keep on watch. Looks like we could hit a higher high. I'm gonna watch this pre-market high, see how we do. Including yesterday's high day is gonna be a very tough spot, especially since we're already at a sort of supply. So we'll look at how AMD does today to grab some shorts. And someone asked, can I see a bounce on AI? So AI looks to have a gap. Um, let's see. A lot of selling going on after this earning push. So that's a big thing to watch out for. We do have a trend possibility here. Um, a possible trend reversal. So we do have this. First off, falling wedge resistance. So that's key. We also possibly got a support going as well. So, Scooter, if you're interested, right here, this AI setup doesn't look bad. We got our um, consolidation down. It looks like just a lot of selling from this move. Now, we may see some interest as we break higher. As you guys know, this is a high, a higher low, a higher low. So if we can break high and break this is now a higher high, showing that we are completely in this bull trend. From bear trend here to now bull, where we can actually go higher and higher. So it does look interesting to watch. So if you have that on your list, keep it on. keep it on eye, especially if you're looking for bounces. You can actually check out for this break. But as far as any specific support bounces, let's see. Let's look at this low right here. It's pre-market low for this day. It's pre-market low for our day for today. So we'll see if there is interest at that pre-market low level. But as far as anything else, we do have lots of small levels here. I'm gonna set that as a median. This whole range overall shows some tension between buyers and sellers. All of that. So we may see a bounce there. Um, I'll keep it on watch. If I were you, I'd definitely keep it on watch. So any other specific stocks, I'm gonna go just skim through all of these, look for any setups. Um, so this Google, we're holding this 93.57 pretty strong yesterday and pretty strong the day before, so there's a good chance that we may hold strong today as well. It also seems like we've rejected this 95 pretty multiple times throughout this week. This includes Monday and yesterday. So if we do get up there again, we should see some selling. So overall, we now know that our range is up here intra-week. So if our range is up here, we could either buy low, sell high, or if we break this low, then we know that we're going lower lows, which tells us to have a price target of possibly pre-market low as well as previous day low. Um, and if not, then we can go lower than that and try to hit this 92 support spot. So keep this Google on watch too. That can be good. We'll look at how it does and performs today. And okay, Walmart hit a lower low. That was on our last week list. We didn't really see any interest in this consumer stock. Um, so we'll see how it continues to do. I'm sure that it's gonna continue going lower. Especially after breaking not only this demand, but also resistance, wedge resistance, and just hitting lower lows on top of that. So we will most likely see this 137.39, maybe a bounce, but if not, then we're going lower. PayPal, I'm going to clear this chart. PayPal doesn't really look to have interest for me. It's a very choppy stock lately. I like this SQ setup. We broke out. We're using that resistance as a support. We may see a continuation. And then Roku, nothing interesting there. CRWD, this was that stock we mentioned yesterday. We mentioned on pre-market, the gap has been filled. Watch for sellers, and that's exactly what looks to have happened. So yeah, we filled this gap, 136, key gap, and we now see some selling going on. As far as selling continued today, we do know that the buyers are interested down here, 125, so we may see some buying down there. If we show today that we're weak, then do watch for us to continue lower. Um, but as far as calls go, buyers might try to retest this gap to go higher, but we'll need significant volume to do so. And with the amount of sellers that are in it, it may be a little tough. And then we got our AMAT. AMAT is another stock I'm watching to place some puts for. I do want to see it hit higher, 119 specifically. But we'll look. This stock is definitely been testing our patience. There's really nothing else to see on this other than this mass selling spot here. Lower highs, so that shows it's bullish. But we'll just be patient with it. We'll see how it does. And just keep on watch. JP Morgan breaking support, continuing down. This is all after those Powell speeches. We've continued. It looks like we can go lower today. So we'll look at how we do. And then SE again with the interest. Looks to have had a lot of interest yesterday. As you guys know, this was on our newsletter list. And we saw a massive move. And overall, now we're starting to see a consolidation. Could be between these sellers that grabbed it here. And overall, we may just stay in this range. This is going to be bearish if people start taking their profits. We can go lower, so I'll definitely be watching it. But their IV is pretty high, their implied volatility. So we'll look at how it does this week. So yeah, other than that, let's see if anybody else has any questions. So I'm actually making a video on that, Trader P. It's gonna take me a little bit to get it out to you guys, but basically the idea behind ES and SPX and SPY all correlating together, to work together, is you want to, if they all have the same levels, same resistance at the same, you know, spot generally in the chart, then that works together pretty strongly in the market. So if you see levels like that, so like a resistance for each ES, SPX, and SPY, then you know that's a key level in the overall market. But if you only see a resistance on ES, but you don't see it on SPY or SPX, then that's fairly a meaningless resistance. It won't move as much. It may reject a little bit, but it has a higher probability of breaking out. There's a lot that goes into futures and indexes correlation to the S&P 500 that I'm going to be going over in that video. So that's just the idea of it. So I hope you kind of understand that a little bit. But yeah, just to wrap this up, of course, again, we're going to be watching rejects between this whole zone. We're going to be watching a small reject at 405. If we lose momentum, that could be a reject spot for the morning. This is mainly going to be a morning price level watch. As far as buyers go, again, 3975 is key for buyers. Anything below that, we have some supports to watch out for. Consolidation in between is likely. Um, and that's about it for this ES. We do see that SPX has this 4017 that we want to watch for rejects and 3974 that we can watch for some bounces. Um, that's about it for me. We're probably going to end the stream here. The market opens in 30 minutes. So I hope you guys trade smart, trade safe. And I'll see y'all. Peace out.